Good evening, everyone. My name is Chris Cooper, known as the Channel Guy Trader, and I'm reporting to you live from Wall Street Trading's Miami office down in sunny South Florida. Today's date is Thursday, June the 13th, 2013, and here is today's After the Bell Market Summary brought to you by WallStreetTrading.com. Before I get into the video here, just want to go over a couple things. If you have not been to the website yet, go check it out. It is wallstreettrading.com. A lot of good free education on there if you're looking to learn about the prop trading business and overall about the stock market and just how to analyze charts and stuff like that. We do have a lot of free education on there. At the same time, we are rolling out our new education course. All right, it's a full-blown education course, over 270 slides, PowerPoint presentation, a lot of good stuff in there. If you look into, if you're interested in getting more details on that, we do have a couple people enrolled right now. We will be giving out some dates sometime next week, and for the sign-up dates that we'll be having here. If that sounds like something that you're interested in, if you want to analyze charts the way that we do and the way that we're allowed to, the way that we are able to see these market moves before they happen and sector rotation, all other good stuff, you want to contact me at ccooper at wallstreettrading.com. Aside from that, what a crazy day in the markets today. The markets were down on the ES here. Let me take a look real quick. The markets were down a lot. Well, from yesterday's opening price of 1636 to the overnight low on the ES that we made at 2 o'clock in the morning, we're talking from 1636 all the way, or call it 1637, all the way to 1597. So we went down 40 points from yesterday's opening price, and then we rallied back all the way back up 40 points from yesterday's, from today's overnight low at 2 o'clock this morning, all the way back up to 1637. So definitely a nice bullish day on the tape, and we're going to be looking at some of these charts here real quick. Let's go ahead and take a look at the market, see how the different indices closed here. The Dow Jones closed up over 180 points. The Nasdaq closed up close to 45 points, and the S&P 500 closed up close to 24 points. If we look at the breadth today, we have a 4-to-1 ratio back in favor of the Bulls. Yesterday we had a 4-to-1 ratio in favor of the Bears. Today the Bulls came fighting back, 4-to-1 ratio back in favor of the Bulls here. We had 4,883 issues advancing on the NYSE, NASDAQ, and the AMEX. We had 1,241 issues declining on the NYSE, NASDAQ, and the AMEX. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into the charts here. Again, a lot of broad market participation. Everything was up pretty much across the board. Only some weakness in some technology stocks like Microsoft, HPQ. That was light weakness, so nothing too crazy. So taking a look at the SPY. The SPY closed at 164.21. We closed up $2.46, a little over 1.5% here. You can see we had an engulfing candlestick today just about. We opened up underneath yesterday's low, or yesterday's closing price, opened up underneath that price, sold off a little bit, which just happened to be lined up with the 50-day moving average, exponential and simple moving average, which we hit last week Thursday and held, and then we hit that level again today and held, and we did a full reversal bar back up. So now we closed back above the key 164 level. As you guys know, that is our critical level that we've been watching for the past week or so, as we have not been able to hold above that level. So if we can hold and start closing back above 164, that'll be a good sign. We'll be looking for a move back up towards this 165.75, 165.50 area, and then maybe a move back up towards these highs right here, 167, if we get some nice bullish action that continues going into the rest of the week. Well, tomorrow's Friday, so going into Friday, let's see any big numbers coming out tomorrow on the economic data side. We have producer price index, current account, industrial production, consumer sentiment. So we got some decent economic data that's coming out tomorrow. It's definitely going to cause some money rotation moving around here, which is good. Will provide us with some, which will provide us with some great trading opportunities for tomorrow. All right, to follow off this good day that we had today. So again, those are the levels that you want to watch in the SPY. Just make sure you take note that the SPY held the 50-day moving average twice, one right here, and that was in a short amount of time as well. We bounced up, came right back, immediately tested it, and then we bounced right back up. So right now we have a little W pattern that you can see on the daily chart. I'm pretty sure you can see it a little bit. You can see it much cleaner on the 15-minute chart or the 5-minute chart. Taking out a 10-day 5 or a 10-day 15, you'll be able to see that much cleaner. But plain and simple, sold off, rally right back up, sold off, rally right back up. It looks like it's going to start to form a W or something like that. So we'll see how that plays out. Let's go ahead and take a look at the ES real quick. What you see right here, And you can see just the crazy action we've been getting here. A lot of volatility, which is good. If you're active traders like us, you want to get that nice intraday volatility and be able to participate on some nice ranges that are being made in some of these stocks here. So that's pretty good. ES, next resistance level on the ES is up here towards 1642, or really towards the back up towards the 1650. Let's go ahead and take a look at the triple Qs. Triple Qs, the NASDAQ 100 came right down to that key trend line that we highlighted to you guys in a couple of the videos, which also lined up with the 50-day simple and exponential moving average right there around 71, 75 or so. Nice little bounce. It didn't get a nice little bounce like didn't get a big bounce like the S&P 500, but check this out. One thing that we're looking at is this high right here. Connect that trend line, and then we already have this key trend line that we're working off of right here. So as long as we stay above this trend line that I have marked on my charts, and this trend line right here, below that, when we compress a bit, we could be compressing for another breakout pattern. All right, nice little compression for another move higher, and we'll be keeping you guys posted with that. Let me take a look at my NASDAQ proprietary channel analysis, see what they did here. And same thing for them. They came right back to back test that key trend line. Let me put this in real quick. Right there to back test that key trend line that we called when we initially called the breakout. All right, when we told you guys to buy the tech stocks way before it, well, not way before, but 2 weeks or so before CNBC and the whole media started catching on to, hey, you got to go into growth stocks and buy tech stocks. Well, if you guys would have watched the videos and see how we were analyzing the markets and tracking the sector rotation, you guys would have been in tech stocks back here before CNBC called it over here. But, we're not here to talk about what we've done in the past. We're here to make sure we lead you guys and give you guys some good key market analysis and accurate analysis, see where we could be heading in the future here. And we're forecasting that the market had a nice reversal today, so we got to keep a close eye on this trend line. Same thing here on the Nasdaq futures. A nice little compression pattern could be forming here against our key trend line, and as long as we can hold above, I would say this 2900 level on the Nasdaq futures, we can make a nice little move up there. So again, bulls are fighting back, and the trend is still up in the market. So we did have some little sell side action for the past 2 weeks, but you still want to remain level-headed and make sure you're just trading the right stocks that are in play. It's all about picking the right stocks that are in play and trading the right names. And we had a couple of them that we traded in the chat room today. Again, if you've not been to the chat room yet, it's mywallstreettv.com. To log into the room, you have to go to the website. Don't fill out the form on the right-hand side there. So let's go ahead and take a look at the IWM, the small cap Russell 2000. Russell 2000, same thing here. As I explained the other day, Russell 2000 is just trading in a range. And once we could break above, say, 99 or even 100 and start holding to get a real confirmation, this thing looks like it's going to be ready to go. You have a nice little up move that we had for, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks or so. We've been in this little sideways consolidation for 1, 2, 3, about 3.5 weeks or so, call it. And, as you guys know, this is up move, sideways consolidations. That's indicative of a move higher, so we'll see how that plays out. Again, we have all this little market action, bonds, and currency action going on, so we have to make sure we take that stuff into account as well, along with what's going on overseas. That's why, it's interesting times to trade the market right now, because there's a lot of different factors that could come into the market that could cause the market to gap down big and give you some opportunities, or gap up big and give you some opportunities. So the IWM was up 1.77% today. Nice engulfing candle on the IWM. This would be definitely something that you want to take a look at. If the markets are up tomorrow across the board, then the Russell 2000, if you're looking to just trade an index, will be the index to go to. Why? Because it's been controlling itself pretty good inside this range compared to the ES or compared to the SPY and the NASDAQ, which have been a little bit more crazy. So that's something to keep in mind, a little bit more wild, I would like to say. All right, so let's take a look at the currency action. I didn't get a chance to take a look at this with you guys the other day. The dollar has just sold off. I never got a chance to touch the base with you guys again on the call on the dollar, but we did talk about the dollar having a nice little move up here, sideways consolidation. We're setting up a nice little bull flag. As you guys know, a failed pattern leads to a fast move in the opposite direction, and that's exactly what happened here off this nice little high base action we had right here. But at the same time, it was also a back test of the trend line that we had right here from before, back in March, that broke down, rallied up. They sold it against the trend line. We rallied back up into the trend line. They had trouble breaking past it, flagged a bit, and then we broke down. So, that's pretty good. But we are seeing a couple things here. The fact that gold, all right, is not rallying with the weakness in the dollar. It's stabilizing a bit, but it's not rallying. All right, and again, this is just, I was telling my friend today, this is just a sector that you want to stay away from. There's other better trades out there. So why trade the gold miners or why trade the GLD? There's other cash flow trades that are much easier to trade that you can read the tape much better. So therefore, you want to be focused on those. So gold had a little down day today after gapping down. It was able to recover off of its lows, but it was down 51 cents. Nothing too crazy there. You take a look at the GDX. The GDX was actually positive today, up 28 cents. Still, again, this thing's just trading in a range really between 31 and 26.32. You know, it's trading sideways. You want to find a sector that's actually trending, like the financials, the home builders had a nice little day today. We talked about the home builders in our live chat room this morning. Toll, Lennar, KBH. We talked about those in the chat room. Now, I didn't get to talk about that on Facebook, but again, that's why you want to make sure you get in that chat room so you could check out some of the exclusive stuff that we're looking at throughout the day and how we're trying to generate some cash flow trades over here on this side of town. So GDX, had a nice little update today. We'll track those, but again, it's not on the focus list right now. On the focus list, well, let me finish going through the market here. So GDX, SLV was pretty much flat. Nothing going on there. Again, precious metals are dead right now. When they start waking up a bit more, we'll definitely be on top of it. The same way we were on top of them when they started going down. And so SLV, let's take a look at that crude oil here. Crude oil was let's see here. Crude oil, nice update, guys. All right, we've been talking about the crude oil holding that 92 level, and now, one thing that we're watching out for is if this is a inverse head and shoulders pattern that happened right here, with this nice little downward channel action being the head, right, and the breakout's going to happen over 98. So if you're looking to participate in this crude oil move that may be on the horizon here, you want to look at some USO. You want to look at maybe selling some USO puts. You want to maybe take a look at some stocks that benefit from higher crude energy prices. You want to maybe take a look at some of the weak energy or weak transportation stocks that have not been participating in this rally. That when the crude oil, if it does start to lift off and they haven't been going up with the rally, they're probably most likely going to trade down. So those are a couple of ideas. We do have some more, but again, we keep those to some of our people that pay attention to more of our analysis, some of our followers, some of the people that come to our webinars and stuff like that. Again, if you want to get involved, make sure you contact me at ccooper@wallstreettrading.com. So crude oil is looking bullish in my book here. You guys know I've been tracking this one ever since it had this little head and shoulders pattern that broke down right here. Okay, if crude oil was really bearish, all right, it wouldn't have been able to get back above that neckline if it really wanted to sell off, right? But you can see they jiggled it down below 92, and then intraday, those 2 days, those 2 times we had right here, all right, these two different weeks they had it where the crude oil sold off pretty hard to 92, and dip buyers just came in there and just bought it right up. Same thing, they did some little shake and bake action early last week. They bought it back up, so 92 is definitely a hardcore level to trade off of. And once it breaks over this 97, 97.50, or really 98, we may see some higher energy prices. Now, is that going to be good for us consumers? No. But is that going to generate some cash flow opportunities and trades for some of our followers and some of our subscribers? Yes. So, again, you want to get involved over here. So keep an eye on that crude oil. Crude oil breaking above 98 could definitely start to pick up some momentum in there. All right. What else we have? What else we have going on here? Let's take a look at that TLT real quick, because the bonds, ever since our bond call to get short the TLT or to buy the TMV, that has been working pretty well. But now it's starting to hold some support around 112. If you take a look at the weekly chart, all right, which we highlighted that head and shoulders pattern back here before it broke down. We're coming back into this little support level right here around 112. So it could get a little bounce, but then if the bonds do get a bounce and they put in a lower high somewhere below this key trend line and we start selling back off, that lower high may be the chance to get short the bonds for a break below 112. But we don't want to forecast that much out, so we're just going to keep on taking it day-by-day approach on the bond market. But we are seeing money leave out of the bond market, going to equities. We are seeing them talk about bond rates rising up on CNBC and all that good stuff. And again, we were on top of this before, it hit the whole media. Now everybody's talking about it. So TLT, still weak in my book until it gets back above 116 on a confirmation closing basis there. So let's go ahead and talk about some stocks here. Let's take first a quick look at Apple. I know a lot of you guys like to track Apple just because you trade it, or like to track Apple to see how it's moving with the market. And right now, it's really not doing nothing with the market. It had a little bounce today, but Apple's just dead money right now. I don't think until they come out with anything that really excites the consumers, the stock's just going to be trading in a range, just trading in its own little lane. Now, Amazon was a stock that we talked about last week, Wednesday, which was very strong. I also talked about it with you guys the other day when I did my After the Bell Market Summary video and highlighted the fact that it's going to be a buying opportunity, all right, on a back test of this trend line right here from the break. We called the original breakout, and now we're calling for you to watch Amazon if it holds above this 270. As long as it holds above 270, which was a breakout right here, and above this trend line, we'll be looking for Amazon to go back and recheck these highs and possibly break out, going into the end of the quarter here. Okay. What else we have going on here? So make sure you keep an eye on Amazon. I really like that idea. Now the home builders had a nice move today. We could take a look at the XHB just to gauge the ETF here. Nice little bounce off the 100-day simple and exponential moving average, which we have right here, which is this nice little blue line, and nice engulfing candle, very strong. We actually talked about this in the chat room in the morning, and the way that we actually caught attention to these home builders this morning was because the change from open all the way from the morning, the ETF, the XHB, was on the top of the list from our change from open ETF list, and it stayed near the top of the list the whole day. So we started punching up some of the names, and next thing you know, you start seeing bullish patterns on these names, and there's your trade idea, folks. It's that easy. You got Lennar, LEN, Lennar, nice engulfing candle, really, pretty much got respected at the bottom of the range down there around 37. Looks good. It's trading in a range between 37 and 44. If you like to range trade, this could be a good idea for you. You can also take a look at Lennar. All right, Lennar, they actually do a lot of business in South Florida. They're actually a South Florida-based business. Well, actually, I was looking at Lennar right there. Sorry about that. Lennar in a range between 37 and 44. So we're talking about a $7 range here. This thing breaking over today's highs could start slowly making its way back up towards the top side up there. They have earnings coming out in about 2 weeks, and again, they're actually based in Miami, which is where they do a lot of. I think they're headquartered down here. KBH got a nice little bounce off this hardcore level right here, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so nice strong level. Once it gets back above this 22 level, that's when it could really get some traction to try to make a move back up towards 25. And then you have Toll Brothers. Okay, you got TOL. Toll Brothers, same thing here. Toll Brothers looks a little bit sloppy, but it has a base right here. Try to carve out a base right here. We'll see. If you're interested in trading one of these names, I'll focus on Lennar or KBH. Those look a little bit better. As far as the financials go, the financials were up today. The whole financial sector was up today. I mean, the real estate stocks, the home builders, all of them were doing pretty well today. So Goldman Sachs, nice engulfing candle. Still holding on to its 20-day moving averages here. And once it breaks out over these highs, it could definitely get some more momentum there. I like Goldman Sachs. Looks pretty good. Still has some more room to run as well. JP Morgan hanging in there. Want to watch this little key trend line right here, and it's trying to carve out a little base down here around 53. Maybe if we get a break with this momentum trend line over today's highs, we can get a nice move up towards 55, and it can start working its way up there towards those highs. Bank of America, BAC, definitely a bank that you want to take a look at. Holding this nice little level we have right here at 13. You can see it has been able to hold that level for prior resistance, support. All right. So another name that you want to keep on watch there, Bank of America, BAC. It's at 13 level. All right, let's take a look at some of the energy names. The OIH was up 2.25% today, a little bit more. Take a look at the OIH. All right, now that we are starting to carve out a little base on the market here, or at least trying, you want to start taking a look at the different sectors to see which sectors are getting the money rotation, and taking a look at the OIH. We possibly have like a little falling little wedge right here. All right, we'll see how that plays out. But either way, nice candle today, nice bullish candle today. You take a look at some of those names, such as Halliburton, which had a nice little move today. Halliburton looks pretty good. And then you take a look at RIG, R-I-G. Not as strong as Halliburton, but, it is near some support, so we'll track it. And That's about it, guys. A lot of action out there. Too many to talk about. I mean, the whole broad market was up. Just make sure you're staying on your P's and Q's and you're managing your risk accordingly. And you should be doing fine. You want to make sure you're trading the right stocks. So you got to be in the right stocks as this money rotates around. It's a stock picker's market. You just want to make sure you're in the right names. And if you're trading the indices, you want to make sure that you're not buying those highs and you're buying those intraday dips that are getting bought up. Aside from that, have a great night, folks. Cheers.